Hello, and welcome to my talk for today. It's good to be here with you. Yesterday we had one of the heaviest thunderstorms I think I've ever been in my life here in Fredericton. So today's a little bit of a clean-up day eventually when the rain stops. 76 years ago today, June 6th, 1944, the world shuddered and many people held their breath. Allied forces landed on the beaches of Normandy in France, attempting to begin to push back the forces of Nazi Germany from Western Europe. There was no guarantee that this, the largest amphibious landing the world had ever known, would succeed, and it cost many lives to ensure that it did. Today is a day when we should give thanks for our forebears who gave so much on that day and in the months and years following. Today we find ourselves in another time of shuddering. As we look around the world, we see things which trouble us, and many of the markers which have been a source of security either seem to be under threat or to have vanished. Perhaps Pope Francis is correct in saying, we're not living through an era of change, but a change of era. In an age of insecurity, where do we find security? Tomorrow in the church's year we have another of those important Sundays which so often is nodded towards rather than given its due. Because tomorrow is Trinity Sunday, when we remember the full nature and purpose of God. Many of us find that the Trinity represents mind-bending complexity, yet it is the center of the Christian faith. Don't switch off at this point. I'm not going to enter into a convoluted description of Trinitarian theology, but I do want to touch on a couple of important points about the Trinity. The first is that the Trinity concerns relationship. The ancient formula of 3 in 1 and 1 in 3 shows us this: Father, Son, and Holy Spirit dwelling within a loving, sacred, and eternal dance. There is nothing that one person does without the other persons being in perfect agreement and harmony about it. When Jesus was on earth, he spoke about his purpose being to do the will of the Father. Every human being is invited into that relationship. Jesus provides the way and prayed for it on the night of his betrayal. Our connection to the Godhead is through the Holy Spirit. But it's not the Spirit acting alone, but rather doing the will of the Father and the Son. It's not that we disappear into the Godhead, but as with the persons of the Trinity, we retain our persona within the relationship. The second thing is that God is love. In John's first letter, the 4th chapter and verse 8, we're reminded of this. It is self-giving love, agape, which is the essence of the nature of God. It is love which guides and binds that relationship and in which we are invited to participate. From the beginning of time, the intention was for humanity was that we would carry that love into creation because we are made in the image of God. Sadly, that image has become marred within us. It is through entering into relationship with the Trinity that we rediscover God's intention for us as individuals and as the church, and we carry that good news of God's love into the world. Despite the shifting sands of our present age, there is a security to be found in relationship with God, and a love to be shared with those who are fearful, in order that we may believe. So I trust that tomorrow you will have a good time of worship, whether it's still virtual or whether in your particular case the church has been able to open its building. And so I trust that you will do well, that also if you're able to join us tonight at 6 o'clock for the litany, that you will do that. But in any case, God bless and stay safe.